Good morning, everyone. I will speak as loudly as possible since we're here on the street. For those of you I don't know, my name is Fazekas, and I'm the spokeswoman for the We Are Ohio campaign. And we are very excited to be here today. We have a lot of good information to give you. First of all, as you know, we've been out collecting petition signatures since Good Friday, which is just about 1 month ago. We have over 10,000 volunteers on the ground collecting those signatures. You know that we need 231,149 valid signatures to get on the ballot from 44 different counties, and the deadline to submit those signatures is June 30th. Our campaign is a citizen-driven, community-based, bipartisan coalition that has come together to repeal Senate Bill 5, an unfair attack on employees' rights and worker safety. Today, we are very excited to announce that we have collected 214,399 signatures thus far in just 1 month. This is an unprecedented level of support from communities all across the state. We continue to struggle to keep up with demand for petitions. We know this campaign is a marathon, not a sprint, and just this week we launched our new website, and we have already seen hundreds of thousands of hits and people every day on our Facebook page asking where can we sign the petition and how can we volunteer to support your organization. We believe that these early numbers on signatures will only serve to motivate our supporters to collect more signatures to ensure that we reach the threshold of 231,149 valid signatures. Just a couple of stories for you from our field. First of all, we have a gentleman in Cleveland, I've just heard about this, who has actually a hot dog vendor, and he works on the streets during the day selling hot dogs. And he is out selling hot dogs every day, and while he's there, he actually has petitions with him, and he's asking his customers to sign them while they're there. We have a teacher, Paula Garfield, here in Franklin County, who collected nearly 700 signatures in one day at the Race for the Cure. This adds to her already total of nearly 4,000 signatures that she's personally collected. And in Worcester, we had a drive-through event where people could just drive up in their cars and sign the petition, and we collected 700 signatures there. So with all of that, that's a little snapshot of what's going on with our campaign. I'll open it up for questions.
When your people are out there, are they seeing any sign of the opposition?
No, at this point, we have no formal opposition.
Nobody's coming up to your people and arguing with them?
No, I have not heard any stories about that.
What's your goal? I mean, you want to collect more than the 231,000 because they'll suddenly be knocked out. What's your basic goal?
Our goal is to collect between 450,000 and 500,000.
How realistic is that?
With the unprecedented support that we've seen, we think that it's very realistic.
When do you expect to reach that?
We continue to check our numbers on a regular basis, and I can't speculate about when we'll reach that number, but I think that it's safe to say that we believe we'll do so before June 30th.
What kind of validation process are you employing in-house?
We have a process that we're going through, and based on just the small number of signatures that we're validating right now, we have over a 60% rate.
60%?
That's correct.
How are you validating?
I actually can't get into the specifics of the process because I have not been a part of that yet, but we are going through a very intense process to make sure that we will have the valid number of signatures.
So that number you gave us, is that valid signature or is that
No, that's total number of signatures
so
collected thus
60%
far.
of that is what you got.
And that's just based on a small sampling of numbers at this point, so we haven't done a full run.
Are you using any paid circulators at this point?
Yes, we do have some paid circulators, but the significant number of signatures that we've received in-house are from our unpaid circulators, our volunteers.
Can you tell us what the terms are of your agreement with the paid circulators?
I could get you that information. I don't have it.
You can tell us how many they're getting. Are they being paid per signature?
I don't have that information, but I can talk to you later about that.
How many do you have that are paid circulators?
I'm sorry.
Do you know how many paid circulators you have?
I don't have that number, but I can get that for you.
Are they from out of state?
No, I believe that the circulators are from in-state, but I'm not sure. I'll have to find out.
And the paid circulators would be in addition to the 10,000 volunteers that you mentioned.
That is correct.
Why are you using any paid petition circulators?
I think it's important to make sure that we meet the number of valid signatures.
And without the paid petition circulators, you think it would be in question?
I can't say that it would be in question. We have a number of, I've told you we have over 10,000 supporters out there right now collecting signatures. And we're seeing the vast number of them coming in from those volunteers.
Can you tell us if the 60% validation rate you've got so far includes some signatures gathered by paid circulators?
Yes, it does.
How are you coming on the meeting with 44 county commissioners?
I don't have any breakdowns on counties yet.
If you get to your threshold early, are you going to turn them in early, or are you going to wait till June 30th?
I think we're going to continue collecting signatures right up to June 30th, and I don't think you could get our supporters to stop it, even if we asked them.
There's a provision in the election bill that just passed the House. It's not going to affect you just because of the timing, but in the future it would prevent organizations like yours from being able to continue to collect signatures while the validation process is being done by counties and the Secretary of State. Could you comment on that?
I'm not familiar with that provision. I haven't reviewed the bill. I apologize. Any other questions?
There's a Quinnipiac poll that came out this week showing majority opposed to the pollsters are suggesting this would be essentially a referendum on Governor Kasich and his approach to governing. Do you think that's going to be the case also?
Well, I can't speak to what the opposition may be because we don't have any at this point. No formal opposition has been formed. But I do think that the polling shows what we're seeing on the ground, which is an unprecedented level of support.
How much of your campaign will be to sort of link this to Governor Kasich and make it a referendum?
We're really focused right now on just collecting the signatures and making sure that we get the ballot number by June 30th.
Have you had any offers of money from out-of-state sources to help you in this?
I can't talk. I can't say right now anything about fundraising. That's just not what we're focused on. We're really focused on making sure we collect the ballot number of signatures.
You mentioned, commented generally on the overall opposition to Senate Bill 5 that was shown in the Quinnipiac poll. But what do you think of the provisions that were mentioned where voters actually like some of the things in that bill?
I'm sorry, I can only hear part of that.
Some of the voters indicated that they like some provisions such as requiring the workers to pay more for health care. They like the idea of workers paying more toward their own pensions. Is there a concern here that you may win this battle but could lose some smaller battles in the future?
Well, I think the overall polling shows what we're seeing on the ground, which is we have an unprecedented level of support of protecting employees' rights and worker safety.
Is there any concern about motivation here on teachers, considering that now the state budget looks like it's going to include merit pay provisions, so even if they overturn Senate Bill 5, they're still going to face major changes in the way that they are evaluated and paid?
I think that we have a lot of teachers that are engaged in our referendum process and that they're out collecting signatures and making sure that this gets on the ballot.
But will they also challenge that portion of the state budget?
I can't speak to what the teachers may do on that. Any other questions?